Hi grades 4, today we are looking at exercise 49 in our math workbooks. It's just one page, and just like our previous exercises, we've been working with finding a volume of each solid figure. That's exactly what you have to do on this page as well. So as we've been talking about, to find a volume, we multiply three things. We multiply height, width, and length, right? To find the volume. And volume is basically how much space a solid figure or something is taking. And we call it a volume, and then we find its volume we find the volume of something by multiplying three things, height, width, and length. Okay. Now we can go ahead and we can, without multiplying, we can actually find if we were to count our squares, right? So we can actually go ahead and count each square, especially for when the figures are uneven, right? When they're not even, it's kind of difficult to multiply them. But when they are even, we can actually go ahead and multiply the sides and then multiply them together, count the sides. So for example, over here, I went ahead and I counted my sides and then I multiplied them together to find the volume. But for these ones, like these ones over here, you can actually go ahead and just count the top layer and then double up the bottom layer, right? Because you know that, okay, if there are 4 at the top, then of course there are 4 at the bottom. That gives you 8. And then there's 1 on the side, which is sticking out, right? So 8 altogether, 8 as a block, and then 1 on the side. So it gives us 9, right? So we can go ahead and we can count each block, or we can go ahead when it's solid figure like this, when it's even, we can count our sides and then multiply them together. And that would give us our volume. Or we can just multiply our top, and then double up the bottom layer, right? So we know that if there are, let's say, 4 at the top, there would be 4 in the middle one, and there would be 4 in the bottom one, right? So we know that all together, it's going to give us an even number. So right now for this one, I went ahead and I knew there are on my side, there are at the bottom, there's 3. So 1, 2, 3. On the side, it's 2. So, and then on the lengthwise, it is 3. So I went ahead and I multiplied all 3 numbers. So I had 3, 2, and 3. So 3 at the bottom, and I did 3 times 2. The width is 2. That gave me 3 times 2 gives me 6. And then 6 times 3, which is the height, 6 times 3 gives me 18, right? So I went ahead and I multiplied for this one, instead of counting each and every single square, I went ahead and I multiplied them so that it's quicker and easier. Again, for this one, I could have done it 2 ways. Either I could have multiplied my sides, or I just went ahead and I numbered my blocks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know that the volume of this figure is 6 cubic centimeters. Okay, so again, go ahead and I would encourage you, grades 4, I would encourage you to use multiplication for these even figures, and then you can go ahead and just count the squares for the ones that are not even. But for the even ones, I would highly encourage you to use multiplication, because in our next exercise, exercise 50, we would actually have to multiply them. Okay, so I would encourage you to start practicing for multiplying your sides right now. But for the uneven figures, I'm okay with if you just went ahead and counted. Okay, this is our exercise for Monday. It's just one page. And then Tuesday, it's a bit longer, but it involves multiplication. So I'll see you then.